Hey, what's up, everybody? We're standing out here in our backyard. You can see we've got some woods behind me. These woods are part of our property, and it mostly just sits here. It's beautiful to look at in the summer, but right before spring, so we're in March right now when I'm making this video. We're going to be taking advantage of no foliage and showing you how to build a trail so that this land can do more than just sit. It can actually be used. So I'm going to show you how to make a trail in this video, and I hope you find it helpful. So we've got some pretty thick foliage in the summer months, so I'm going to avoid that if at all possible. I don't like ticks, and so we're going to be getting out here when the trees and all the foliage is dead or dormant. Now, obviously, before we get started, we need to determine the path of our trail, which means marking the property line. So I've already done that. I used an app, and I'll put links down below for supplies and the technology that I used to help out. And I used some spray paint to just basically go through and say, okay, where do I want my trail to start and to continue and to finish? So I basically did a big loop. Got my chainsaw out and cut a pathway through, and then labeled, of course, with some orange flags, the path every 10 feet or so, so I knew where it was going to be going. So we have our trailhead marked and the full loop identified. At the end of the video, I'll show you, we'll actually take a walk on the new path, so in the new trail. So it'll be exciting. We're going to be raking up the next part here because we've got all the winter layers from fallen leaves and decaying critters and all that stuff. So we're going to be, the rake is like the most powerful tool after you've got things kind of, clipped down with the chainsaw or the clippers. We're going to be raking our path and just pushing aside downhill all of this stuff. And that's going to really loosen up the soil, and you're going to start to see the path almost immediately after this. I also have my little reciprocating saw. I'm taking care of any large-scale roots happening and making sure they aren't trip wires for people. I've got my tamper as well. I bought this online, and this is huge in terms of power and capability. It's an 8x8 tamper. You can use it for gravel and, making sure water is adequately shedding from your house foundation. So lots of great uses. Anyway, so I'm going to be tamping down you can see here how effective it is. It's pretty heavy. Don't let it hit your foot, by the way. We're going to be tamping down the trailhead and the trail. Now, it is a bit physical if you're looking at, several hundred feet of trail, but do a little bit every day. And especially if you're going to have stones or something to act as your trailhead. And there's no limit as to what you can do to make your trail cooler or better. You can put a bench, you can, put stones or lights, but we're just going to be doing simple stones for the trailhead, and then just regular soil that's tamped down. So we'll get the stones installed, and those seem to be pretty solid, so that's good. And we've got 3 stones there for the trailhead. Now so most of the work is already done. Raking, chainsawing, cutting away roots, and just defining the path. So let's take a walk and let's see what I've been up to in this short amount of time. Now this video is only several minutes long, but it'll take you much longer. But it's not as bad as you think. I found it to be much easier than I thought. Now, you do want to make sure that you don't have any straight sections, straight downhill and uphill. It's better to have, you can have some, right? But it's better to have some zigzags, some switchbacks. That's mostly for runoff. And we are soil-based here, and I have compacted this soil with the tamper. Yes, I did the whole thing. And that helps just keep the water from absorbing and helps it run off a little easier to avoid mud spots. Now, I could take some wood chips and put it in low spots if it does rain, and I notice that there's pooling happening, but, mud's going to be mud, and we didn't want to put, wood chips down over everything really thick either, because that is a safe place. Ticks love to hide in cool wood chips, apparently. So, but I'll probably take some wood chips and sprinkle it on here and there, especially in low areas if there's any pooling. But this is the trail. You can see it's pretty extensive. We just did a basic loop with several switchbacks, and we'll see how maintenance goes. I'll be posting another video when there's more foliage, when it's grown in the summer, to see how the trail has held up. You can see the deer are loving it. There's a footprint, and we've got friends already. So the deer will actually help keep the trail maintained once it is defined, because they prefer that. Who doesn't prefer a well-maintained trail compared to, you know, like Daniel Boone cutting through all this foliage? Like, hello. So the deer will actually be my friends here and not tear up my trail or poop all over it. Can we coexist, fellas? Yes, ladies? I'll take that as a yes. So here, let's finish it up. We're still on the path. It takes me about 2.5 minutes to do the path, to do the full circle. That includes sitting down for 10 seconds on my thinking log. You can rewind to see that part. Did you catch it? There's a thinking log at the top of the loop. Anyway, so this will be nice, I think, to get some exercise, to just get outside, and also, most importantly, an easy DIY upgrade to your home. This is going to increase the resale value of the home, or property, I should say, and was very low cost. Hopefully this video has helped you out. Thanks for being with me today.